Hello and welcome to another podcast. I didn't think I was going to be recording today, but I am feeling not as exhausted as I thought I was because I've just come back from Unravel and I got a surprising amount of knitting done over the weekend. And I bought some Unravel, so I thought I'd film a quick podcast before I leave for Norway tomorrow and let you know what I bought at Unravel and what I've been knitting in the last week. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you're new here, my name is Annika. I design knitting patterns. I teach knitting workshops online and in person, and I sell yarn through our website YarnAddict.co.uk. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. So before we start, very quick notice. I have some workshops coming up at Spinny Yarn in Bovey Tracy in Devon. On the 11th of March, I'm doing a top-down Farrell yoke workshop, so you'll learn how to do stranded color work or Farrell knitting, how to do a top-down circular yoke sweater in the round, and you'll get all the calculations and formulas you need to actually work it out in your own size, plus how to add a stitch pattern and all that kind of stuff. So it's a really interesting workshop. And on the 18th of March, I'm teaching finishing techniques at Spinny Yarn in Bovey Tracy. And on the 29th of April, I'm teaching toe-up socks at Spinny Yarn in Bovey Tracy in Devon. So go to Spinny Yarn, devon.co.uk, I think is their website, but I'll link it below, and book those workshops if you're interested. So before we start, notice anything new? I've got new glasses. Just been to collect them this morning. Went to the opticians in Plymouth a week ago yesterday, and I have varifocals, and they said it was going to take 2 weeks, and I was like, but I'm going on holiday and I really want them before my holiday. So he put like a rush urgent thing on them and said, could I have them for yesterday? So I had a phone call on Thursday, I think it was. So I ordered them last Sunday. I think they rang me on Thursday or sent me a text message on Thursday to say they were ready to be collected. Obviously, I was away for Unravel, so I popped into Plymouth this morning to collect them. So I really like them. I'm just looking at myself in my camera now. They are a bit bigger than the last ones I had. They are black with a blue lining. Now, I do kind of wish the blue was on the outside instead of on the inside. I think that would have been better, but when I went in there, I spotted a pair of glasses on the shelves as I walked past. They were quite bright purple, and I love them. They're this kind of shape, and I absolutely love them. And I thought, oh, I really fancy those. But when I came downstairs after my eye test, I realized that they were a small frame, and I do not have a small face, so I need a bigger frame. So they didn't suit me, and they didn't have anything similar in purple that suited me. So I went for these, and I do quite like them. And but it is strange seeing myself in the camera because they are different from my old ones. They are a bit bigger than my old ones, but I like them. So let me know what you think. Do you like my new glasses? Anyway, I like them, which I guess is the main thing. I went to Plymouth, picked up my glasses, ran some errands in town, came home, double checked I got everything packed for tomorrow for leaving for Norway, and then I started unpacking some yarn. So I've unpacked about 2/3, just over 2/3, I think, of my yarn. I actually counted most of it yesterday afternoon in the last kind of half an hour before we finished yesterday. It's always quiet in the last hour at a show, so I had printed out a sheet and I just quickly did a quick stock take for most of my yarns. Didn't manage to get through all of them. You have to go on merino cotton, I still have to do, but all the others I've done, which means I can just put them away, and I put some of them away. I haven't finished. My online shop won't be open till I return from Norway in 2 weeks' time, so if you're interested in anything, make sure you sign up to my newsletter, and then you'll find out as soon as it's reopened. So before we get on to what Unravel was like, let's talk about my knitting. If you're at Unravel and you supported us, or you came by to say hello and chat or whatever, thank you very much for your support. I really appreciate it, especially if you purchase from us. We had a really good show. Shows have been down in terms of sales since COVID, significantly down. They were dropping before COVID, so I don't think it's a COVID effect, but I think it's just the fact that there's so many more shows now. And the shows we've done, which has been Yarndale and Wonderwall, have been significantly down on what they were before COVID. And this is the first time I've done Unravel since 2019. And I was a bit nervous. And last week I was quite stressed out and thinking, is all this work really worth it? Am I going to make enough money to make it worthwhile doing this? Because it's so much work. And Simon had to take 2 days off work, plus it's taken a day off to recover. You know, so it's a lot of work. And it was a 3-day show, and I was like, is this really going to be worth it? And I was a little bit down, to be perfectly honest. And it was really good. Friday was really good, really busy. So I was like, great, that was looking great. Saturday was as good. I think in terms of sales, we were maybe like £20-30 down on Friday. So basically the same. So that was really good. Sunday was quieter, but it usually is. But it was still busier than I expected it to be, especially in the afternoon. So I was really, really pleased. We were only, I think, about £50 down in sales on our best ever Unravel, and only about £250 down in sales on our best ever show, which is not a lot. So I was really, really pleased, because last year, after the shows I did last year, I was feeling like maybe shows are coming to an end and maybe I won't be doing them for much longer. And now I'm feeling all positive. So if you supported us over the weekend, thank you very much. If you purchased patterns or signed up from online courses online over the weekend, thank you very much. I've had a few online course sign-ups and sold quite a few patterns over the weekend, so I'm assuming people maybe saw me at the show and then went online. I don't know, but thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your support, and I will let you know when my online shop is back open again. So let's talk about what I've been knitting. So last week I was talking about this one, which I was hoping to finish. So I finished it finally on Wednesday evening and blocked it, and we left on Thursday morning. It was still wet when we left. I have a video which I'll put over here, but when I finished it, it was significantly shorter than the original version that I knitted in merino and silk last autumn. So that's the original version, and my new version was significantly shorter. So I added an extra repeat, and on the video that I just showed you, you can see that it was the pink one was much smaller and shorter before I blocked it. Because it was quite late when I did it, I didn't try it on. And after I blocked it, it is, hang on, I haven't actually compared it. So it's about the same length. So I did one extra repeat on the pink one, but it looks like it's about the same length now. I haven't actually measured them yet. And in terms of width, it is, yeah, also about the same, I'd say. Yeah, so I blocked this one. So the pink one blocked out a bit bigger, but then I left it to dry for while we were away and pinned it. As soon as we got home last night, I went straight into the dining room and unpinned it. And then I tried it on to make sure it fit, and then I left it hanging on the back of a chair overnight, and it does relax back a little bit. So it's always worth blocking things, well, mainly lace really, to a little bit bigger than you actually wanted, because it will shrink back a little bit. If it is synthetic fibers, then it's very different. It may not keep its block shape at all, but this is merino silk. I've left a markers in here to measure. So I'm going to take those markers out. So I don't need those anymore. So I did one more repeat on the body lengthwise than I did on the original one. When I swatched for this one, I couldn't get the same tension as I did on the original one. So I went up 1/4 of a needle size. So the original one I used 3.5mm needles. This one I used 3.75mm needles. The neckline is a little bit bigger, I think, than the original one. I was a bit worried about that. I felt like I could have done a few rounds of, a couple of rounds more maybe, or got a stitch. In Norway, I mostly got these kind of long sleeve t-shirts, and the top I'm wearing tomorrow when I'm traveling is like this, but in purple. And I like wearing that. And in my parents' house, that's perfect, because my parents' house is roasting. But if I'm going shopping, either at the local shopping centre, grocery shopping, or there's a shopping centre a couple of towns away where I usually go shopping at least once, then I found wearing a winter coat is just too hot inside, but it's a bit too cold just to wear a long sleeve t-shirt. So wearing something over like this is ideal. And I don't know whether to take this or to take my grey alpaca silk sweater. When I went in November, I took this and wore it quite a lot and found it really useful. So I'm thinking about taking this new pink one because it's brand new and it's shiny and I absolutely love it. I'll try and get a picture after I finish filming this to insert here so you can see what it looks like on. Because if I stand up now, you're not going to see it properly anyway because I can't get any further back from the camera than I am at the moment. So I'm going to keep this on, but I'm really happy with it. I do feel like I could do with a couple of more rounds here. So maybe I'll do that this eve. I will release this as a pattern. I wrote a very sketchy pattern the first time I knitted it, and I filled in some of the gaps that I was missing. So when I come back from Norway, my plan is to start grading this because it's a bit more spring summery, I think, with the short sleeves. You can wear it as a t-shirt in the summer, maybe with a vest top underneath if you're a bit worried about it being too see-through as it's lace. But I think it would be quite nice as a like all year round top really. So I am going to write up the pattern. I knitted this version in Monos Uruguay Fino, which is one of the yarns I actually sell, and I used less than 250 grams for my size, and I am quite big, so I'm really pleased with that. I haven't weighed how much yarn I got left, and I haven't weighed this, but I know I used part of a third skein, but not the whole skein, so I'm really pleased with that. So it will be, pattern will be out, but not for probably a couple of months by the time I've written it up and got it tech edited and things like that. So watch out for that. I have a bit of a backlog when it comes to sweater patterns, but I think this one will probably be the first one on my list to write up. So really pleased with this one. So let's get on to what else I've been knitting. I finished this just as we're about to leave for Unravel. I'm trying to think what else I knitted last week after I finished recording on Monday. I think I was just working on this one. I don't think I really did any other knitting. But on the way to Unravel, I decided to take my sock with me. I knitted one when I was in Norway last time. I'm not actually sure which one I knitted. I think that might be the first one. This might be the second one because I haven't woven in the ends on this one yet, so I need to do that. But I had got to probably about there on the second one when we left for Unravel, and I knitted in the car on the way up, and I finished it on the drive up. So when we were driving up to Unravel last Thursday, we go straight past Stonehenge, which you may have heard of, even if you're not British. You may have heard of Stonehenge. It's quite famous. It's a Neolithic, I think it is, stone circle. So very popular tourist attraction. There's a big visitor centre there now, and we, because of one of the memberships we have, we can actually get in for free. So we were driving straight past there, so I said to Simon, do you fancy stopping? Because we were going to arrive in Farnham 2 hours before we could start setting up anyway. So I said, do you fancy stopping there and having a wander around and then getting lunch there before we drive on? So we stopped there, we got in for free, which was really good. We had a look around. It was really, really cold. So we walked around the stone circle and looked at those, and then there's the museum and things, and then we had lunch. So we probably spent like a couple hours there, and then we got back on our way and drove to Farnham. So it looks like I wove it in the end, but I haven't trimmed the end off. So it looks like that's the only thing that was missing. So I've done that now. So these socks are done and can go in my sock drawer. I need to put them on and do a photograph of them, I guess, before I put them away. I've not been very good in the last year of photographing all my finished socks and posting about them on social media and stuff. So I need to do that before I put them away. But I'm very pleased they're done. Yarn is Regia. I think it was a calf facet colorway, but I have lost the label. I had the label this morning, so I've no idea where it gone, but I'm really pleased with these socks. It's just one of my basic sock patterns. I did a short row heel with a gusset, and I'm not 100% happy with it, so I'm not going to really release that as a pattern yet. But I'm really pleased those socks were done. The plan for these socks was to actually knit on them at Unravel. I thought I can finish that second sock during the quiet parts of the show. So that was my plan. So when we got to Unravel, having already finished that sock, I thought, well, I need to get another skein of sock yarn. So I stole a skein of sock yarn from myself. I basically said to Simon, I need to knit another pair of socks. Do you fancy a pair? And he picked out the yarn. So he went for Shopple Crazy Cyberball in this colorway. Let me just get the label out so I can tell you what it is. So that's what it looks like, what's left, and it is Crazy Cyberball Crazy in colorway 2516. I had two of that colorway and it was my least favorite. I cast on Thursday night when we were having dinner after we'd set up and knitted a few rounds, and I knitted a few rounds in the evening and the next morning. So when the show started on Friday morning, I had nearly finished a rib at the top here. And then I carried on knitting. That's where I got to on the first day. And then I knitted halfway down the foot by here, maybe on the second day. And then I knitted the rest on the third day, and I picked up the stitches for the heel. It's an afterthought heel. I picked those up, but I didn't finish the heel. I finished the heel in the car on the way home. I haven't woven in any of the ends, and I am noticing that my heel here is a little bit gappy. That's not looking good, is it? I might leave that for now, and when I get back from Norway, I might film a tutorial for how to deal with that if you get gappy heels. When I finished the toe, and I grafted the toe in the afternoon on Sunday, it was a bit quiet spell, so I just did it quickly. I can graft a toe in a couple of minutes. Because I've done probably hundreds of them. And then I thought, shall I cast on for the second sock, or shall I undo the waist yarn for the heel and do the heel? And I was hoping I could get the heel done before we left and cast on for the second one, so I could knit the second one in the car on the way home. And what I should have done was cast on for the second one and get started on the rib. But I didn't. I did the heel, and I guess I was a bit distracted as I was doing the heel because it's ended up really gappy. And I ended up doing the decreases for the finish off the heel in the car, and it was getting quite dark by that point, and I definitely made some mistakes on the last few rounds because I could feel that my decreases weren't ending up in the right place. But it looks fine. This yarn does hide a few imperfections because of that kind of mild effect it has. So I'm really pleased with it. It's not perfect, but that's fine. It's going to go on Simon's feet. He won't care if it's not perfect. So I'm going to leave this heel for now, I think. And then when I get back from Norway, I will film a tutorial for how I deal with these holes at the side, because they're quite big holes. See, that's doesn't look good. Apologies if you notice that my nails are really bad, but I haven't done them since Wednesday evening, and they are a mess. But I'm going to unload everything and pack everything away and then go and do my nails. So, first sock finished. Really happy with that. And then I tried to cast on for the second sock in the car. I cast on, I knitted a couple of rounds, and then I dropped the stitch, and I just thought I'm too tired to do this, so I ripped it out again. And then this morning I cast on again, and I've done 2 rounds, so not very much. So these are gonna not see any action till I get back from Norway. I'm not taking these to Norway with me because it won't be enough to really work on in Norway. If I need socks in Norway, which I think I probably do, I will go and buy some sock yarn in my parents' local yarn shop and knit some socks while I'm there. I am really impressed that I managed to knit nearly a whole sock during a yarn show. And the thing is, normally I would say if I can manage to knit that much during a yarn show, it was really quiet, and it wasn't. It was really busy. But I knitted a bit at the beginning of the day on Friday and Saturday, and a bit in the afternoon, because the right at the beginning is always a bit quiet, but we're always on the stall a while before the show starts anyway, ready to go. And in the afternoon it's always quiet, and in the afternoon you quite often get people who just want to chat. So then I was just knitting, and I was also knitting while chatting to other stall holders and stuff. So I'm amazed I managed to knit this much during the show, because I didn't knit on this in the evening, apart from on the Thursday evening and the Thursday first thing Friday morning. That's the only time I knitted on this. The rest of the time I was knitting on it during the show. And normally I would say if I could knit that much during a show, it meant it was really quiet, but it was really busy. So I don't know how I got that much knitting done, except it's just plain knit. So I just kept going, and I'm quite surprised that I managed to finish it. But that's one sock done, so I'll put that away for when I come back from Norway. Then the second one will be like an out and about sock, but I'm not expecting to do anything on that today, because I've got another project I want to do a bit on instead. The other project I took with me to Unravel is my brioche clutch bag that I started before Christmas, December maybe, I can't remember. And I did the base, and I picked up the stitches around, and I did a couple of rounds, and then I left it. So I took that with me, and I was hoping I could finish it. So it's got the lilac as the main colour on that side, and the pink as the main colour on that side. It's the DK Neon Nap. Loads of indie dyes have the same base yarn. The pink is from the Discreet Unicorn. The lilac is from Spectrum Fibre, but it's the same base yarn. And I actually, when I made the lining for the last clutch bag I did, I actually made a lining for this as well. And I took that with me in case I finished it, because I thought I can sew I can nick one of the clutch frames from my stall, sew that in, sew the lining in, and then it'll be done. But I am probably maybe halfway. So I only knit on this in the evenings, and I was really tired both Friday and Saturday night. I didn't get much done. Now, I really love this yarn, but what does annoy me, and let me know if you've been knitting with these neon nap yarns and you've had the same problem. Don't know whether you can see, because it's a bit low down, so I'll just lift it up. Can you see how some of the neon bits have come off on my top? These neon bits do shed. Hang on, can you see it? They do shed quite a bit, and I do find that a bit annoying. I know somebody from one of my workshops who knitted, I think it was black yarn with those neon naps. She knitted a top, and it looked beautiful with those bright neon splashes on black. And I was like, oh, I really fancy doing that. But I'm not happy with the way this is shedding. It is driving me slightly mad. I'm not impressed with that. But that will probably be the project I will work on for the rest of today. Once I've finished unpacking all the yarn and unpacking all the other stuff from Unravel, I'm going to make sure I've got everything packed for Norway. All I need to do really is pack this one. I think everything else is packed, and then I'm going to do my nails. I'll probably undo this neckline and just add a couple of rounds. So just undo the cast off, add a couple of rounds. 2 rounds, 4 rounds, I'm not sure. And then I'll knit on that brioche thing for the rest of the day, but I'm not taking it to Norway with me. So let's talk about what I bought at Unravel. I didn't buy a lot because I have a lot of yarn. I was a bit nervous about buying anything on Friday, because, you know, before the show you don't want to spend too much money in case you don't sell very much, and then you feel bad buying stuff. At the end of Friday, I didn't really have time to look around because I was quite tired, and Friday was really good. We had really good sales on Friday. So Saturday morning, after we'd got a few things ready on the stall, we went and had a look around. We managed to look around about half the show, I think. A lot of stall holders wasn't there, so I couldn't buy anything anyway. But I saw a few things I liked, and I was like, I wouldn't mind coming back here. But also I was like, yes, Friday was really good, but what if Saturday and Sunday are really quiet and it ends up not being a great show in terms of sales? So I thought I won't buy anything. And then on Sunday I had a look around the second half of the show in the morning. Again, a lot of the stall holders weren't there. I could easily have bought something from Pixie Yarn's store. She has absolutely beautiful stuff. Love Pixie Yarn stuff. And she was there. I had a long chat with her, so I could have bought stuff from her, but I can shop from her online, so I didn't have to buy it at Unravel. And I already have some of her yarn. I haven't knitted up yet. And Cool Woolings, love her yarns. She wasn't on the stall when I walked past. And Little Grey Girl also has some beautiful stuff. Again, she wasn't on the stall when I walked past because it was quite early. And then there was another stall in the hall next to me, and I can't remember what they were called, but they had some beautiful yarn. And I was thinking about going in and getting some on Sunday afternoon, but I just forgot about it. And then it was too late, so I didn't get it. And I can't actually remember what the stall was called, but I can look up in the program and find it. But yeah, lots of beautiful yarn, but I just didn't really want to buy lots of yarn. But I did buy something. So both my purchases were from stall holders in the hall I was in. So I was in the cellar bar, which is kind of split in two. And I had a chat with several of the stall holders who were in my room. It was, how many stalls were there? There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 9, 10. About 9 or 10 stalls, I think. So I chatted with several of the stall holders and got to know a couple of new stall holders I haven't met before. And I got to meet in person some people I knew from online. So that was really lovely. But I bought this from Alex Collins. Is a candle, and it's called Knitter's Haven. It is a scent of nutmeg, cinnamon and clove. It's called Sweet Pumpkin, and it's wax. It's alexcollinsdesigns.com. It is a wax candle, I think. She had a couple of different types, and I just love the smell of this. It smells so good. So I bought that because I quite like candles, and this one smelled really nice. So I got that from her. She also has some really beautiful bags, and I was very tempted to get a bag. But I really wanted this bag. So this bag I'm going to show you now is from the Curated Yarn Co. And I discovered her on social media, I think maybe last year. I saw her yarn advent from last Christmas, and she had these bags. I think the yarn advents was sent out in these bags maybe, or it was an extra. And I was like, that's so cool. I love anything like holographic like this. I love anything see-through. I'm a real sucker for this kind of see-through stuff. I absolutely love this. So I messaged her and said, will you have these for sale individually? And she said, I might do, but I don't know. Anyway, I kind of forgot about it. And I'd completely forgotten about it when we got to Unravel. And her store was beautiful, loads of pink yarn, and I could have easily bought some yarn from her because it was absolutely stunning. And she came over and said hello to me and said, oh, you know, you were asking about my advent calendar bags. And I was thinking, was I? I can't remember. And then she said, well, I've got some left if you want to have a look. So I said, oh, thank you. I'll come and have a look later. By the way, I just found a stitch marker in the bottom of my bag. I don't know where that comes from. And then I kind of forgot about it on Friday because we were really busy. And then on Saturday, I went over to chat with her and I said, have you got some more of those bags? Or it might even have been Sunday I did it. I can't remember. But she did, so I got one. And she put stickers on them that say different things. This one says, Curated Yarn Co. Then it says, ooh, look what you made me do. And then at the bottom here it says, I just dropped a stitch. She has some other ones as well, but I think it's really cool. Quite good fun. It's big enough to use as a project bag for a sweater, for example, or you can use a shopping bag, or I don't know. I just think it's really cool, and I really like bags, so I kind of had to have it. It wasn't that expensive, and I thought I haven't bought any yarn, so I'm going to treat myself. So I got a bag and a candle. That's my only purchases from Unravel. So let's take a look at what the show actually looked like. So I'm going to start off by showing you a clip from what my stall looked like, and then I filmed a bit when we walked around the show as well. This clip is about 8 minutes long, so I appreciate you may not want to watch it, which is why I'm going to finish everything here. Then you can go and watch that if you want to, and if you don't want to watch it, that's fine, I don't mind. But thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Next Tuesday, I'm hopefully going to try and film a travel vlog when I travel to Norway tomorrow. I have my knitting all picked out, so I'm going to show you progress on that. I'm thinking about maybe doing something in London before I head to Stansted. So watch out for hopefully a travel vlog to Norway. It might be a travel vlog plus the first few days in Norway, but that's hopefully going to be out next Tuesday. And then I'll be back with a regular podcast next Friday. And I will let you know when my online yarn shop reopens, but it won't be till about 5th, 6th, 7th of March, I think. So thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.